Hello, my name is Kristi Oliva, and I am a teacher turned instructional designer. I taught for 15 years and then transitioned into instructional design. I landed my first position at Aetna CVS and then got promoted to senior ID. And about a year ago, I transferred to another position at Mac and Talent for Google, which is where I currently am. An ID resume is much different than a teacher resume. We're not just listing off all of our accomplishments anymore. I think with teaching, we just list where we've been and that we've built curriculum, and that's about it. As an ID, what we want to see is, first of all, how productive were you? So how many courses did you build? How many assets? How many storyboards, etc. The second thing that we want to do is list how many learners that applied to. So when you built those courses, how many learners were affected? The third thing is, what was the time frame? How long did it take you to build those courses? And the final thing is to include as much data as possible. So let me give you an example. You could say, I built 6 courses over the course of 6 months, affecting 600 plus learners, increasing sales by 6%. I made up those numbers, but you should be looking for those numbers when you are building your resume. You might not have all 4 of those aspects in every bullet point that you include, but it is good to include all of those things. What did you produce? Who did it affect? How long did it take you? And any kind of metrics that goes with that. The second thing that you need to work on when you're building your ID resume is cutting down things that don't have anything to do with instructional design. As teachers, we have so many accomplishments. If you were teacher of the year, if you had high test scores, well, that one might apply to instructional design, but teacher of the year might not, and it really screams teacher and might have some corporate hiring managers shy away from you. So that is not a great example, but anything that does not apply to instructional design, you really should take off of your resume if possible. And then anything else, you need to translate into ID terms. The advice I give to teachers working on their ID resumes is to be confident in your skills. Your skills are transferable to instructional design. There are a multitude of teachers who have transitioned into ID, and so we are proof that your skills are transition worthy. And then you need to actually just do it. You need to transition that language. Move the language from teacher to ID. In IDLE courses, we teach you how to do that. We show you how the terminology relates and what terminology should be changed. Then you really need to simplify your resume, as I stated earlier. Please don't try to list every single accomplishment you've ever had. In fact, sometimes it's better to make some jobs more muted if they were a major teaching position and don't really apply to instructional design. And the last thing is to just believe in yourself. Put your resume out there and you will find something that fits you.